Hello and happy gaming, everybody. Sorry. Actually, just kind of waking up from a bit of a nap. I had plans for the day, and those are all being moved back by the idea that I laid down to just relax for a little bit, and here we are about 3 hours later, so... Anyway, my name is Dark Sage Walker, and today I'm going to be performing another challenge. The name of this challenge is Death from Above. I've already done a challenge similar to this without following the rules outlined on the... on the Wizard of Legend Discord, so now we're going to be doing it actually following those rules. So, according to those rules, your starting setup, any basic aside from Chaos, check. Dash, Thunderline, check. Standard, Blazing Vault, Airborne Slam, or Binary Splashdown, check. Signature, Seismic Entry, or Thunder Drop, check. Your robe can be Rule or Tempo, check. Relic, Vicious Bunny Ears, check. There's our starting setup. So the only other Arcana we're allowed to pick up are going to be Blazing Vault, Airborne Slam, or Seismic Entry. No other Arcana are allowed, so the idea being we're only allowed to take Jump Arcana, and even then, not even all of the Jump Arcana. Hold on. Because I don't see Heroic Leap or Heroic Blaze on here, so unfortunately those two are just kind of out of the loop. Now, I'm not going to list every allowed relic, but I have the list right in front of me here, so that is the challenge outline. Probably the worst place to start would be Atlas. I would rather not see Atlas at all, so let's just... But getting to see him right off the bat is at least a guarantee that we don't have to... Actually, Thundering Keep would be harder to start at. Just thought about that. Let's give it a few more tries. There we go. Alright, so we're going to start here just to get that out of the way. Then after that, we should be having a pretty decent time. Once again, no Atlas, so we thank our lucky stars and move forward. I really shouldn't do this. Matter of fact, I kind of can't because there are only so many spells I can pick up. There we go. So not all of the Jump Arcana are necessarily my best friends or anything, but for the most part I appreciate them. I'm looking over the list to see if there's anything here I can actually take, and I'm thinking the answer is no. If the answer was yes, I would take Dark Katana, but let's have a look. There's a few things here that I can take that I'd be down for taking. Yep, nothing here I can take. Alright, no worries. Oh, just you wait until we get Binary Splashdown upgraded. Yeah, like I said, because I have a lot of electricity, and because the electric enemies take less damage from water, This is actually probably the worst place to go to for this run, which is precisely why I wanted to start here, so I could basically get it the hell out of the way, and so that everything thereafter would probably be a little bit easier and more fun. I could have also chosen to start where things would be easiest, but not only is that a bit of a toss-up, but honestly, if you do all the easy stuff right away, then you're not giving yourself a lot of breathing room. There you go. How dare you hit me with that friggin' stick? Ought to be ashamed of your goddamn self. And that would be an example of one of the weaknesses of the jump arcana, is that they do leave you a little open afterwards. Because when I saw that that guy was jumping towards me, I was mashing the attack button like a madman to get away, and the game was like, hey, no. No, you silly Billy. And that's about all I can do there. So just that little bit of downtime is a little painful. Other than that, though, like I said, I've done variants on the Death from Above run before. So I'm not even entirely unfamiliar with if a Bakufo. Don't tell me that you don't know what I'm talking about. Everyone knows what I'm talking about when I say things like that. Why would you offer me things that I can't take that I really like? I would take that, and I would take that, and I would take that. Oh well, that's why they call it a challenge. Maybe I'll do just a regular-ass run next time. Not necessarily to cleanse my palate, but just to have fun with, you know, the freedom that you get to take stuff. Alright, done and done. I cannot take Three Gorges Bulwark. Would I if I could? Probably not. Let's be honest. But I mean, it's not like I've never taken a defensive relic before, it's just that one's... No, there's really no reason for me not to take it. Especially since... Yay! Okay, so my brain just short-circuited there for a little bit there. That's about the only explanation I can give for what we just witnessed in that room, which was just complete mental breakdown. Alright. So I'm pretty sure I can take Battery of Tyrannus, which would be a huge boon to my signature. Let's look over the relics to see what I can take. No special snowflake, I'm pretty sure, because that... I mean, it would be helpful. Yep, I can take Battery of Tyrannus. Alright, cool. Oh, it also helps my dash, so yeah. Of all the specific elemental damage ups, the battery is probably the best one, at least for this build. Yeah, there's a reason why we're calling it Death from Above. Hello, train. I cannot take you, Flame Seekers. There we go. Alright, I think I'm settling back into my groove here. Hopefully we won't witness any more complete brain meltdowns like we did in the other room. I mean, if I do suffer another just complete brain overload and just we witness a level of failure unprecedented to this world again like we just did, you have my full permission to laugh because that shit was kind of funny. Splashdown upgrade, let's go. Actually, considering that I'm running a power build, I probably wouldn't have taken any of those. And I am allowed to enhance my robe, so there we go. I will definitely make myself shiny. Alright, so next highest priority on my list would be upgrading my basic, then upgrading my dash. I cannot necessarily just count on finding any additional arcana, since there's only actually 3 I can take. I would love to find one of them, don't get me wrong. It's nice to have more options, but when it comes to this particular challenge, I think the idea is to use the options that you have wisely and not necessarily to have an overabundance of them. And sometimes and this is not necessarily being run as an excuse, but sometimes having a whole bunch of options can leave you frozen for choice. And that's actually worse for your odds than having very few options that you have to use wisely. I think the most relevant example of something like that is actually in video game design. Now, hear me out on this one, because it is a bit of a tricksy mistress to explain, but nowadays, when it comes to game design, there's no shortage of what we can design with the computing and graphical potential at our disposal. And yet, more often than not, a lot of that potential gets overlooked, passed up, or just plain old misunderstood as to what one can do with it, mostly just because there are too many options of what you can do. You don't have to necessarily work within huge limitations anymore. And yes, there are limitations that you have to work within, but they're not the same limitations anymore. It's no longer about what can we fit into a tiny package. It's not about what can we put on this cartridge or what will fit onto this particular disc. Nowadays, the whole scenario. Isn't that right, Cecil? Cecil knows what I'm talking about. Nowadays, it's mostly about what can we do in this amount of time, and how much money can we charge for it. And they lose. So what that oftentimes leads to is games looking alright. I mean, there's a lot of games out there that look alright, but why everyone trying to follow the cutting edge of graphical fidelity, what you oftentimes get are games that are just wholly uncreative, or games that are just, or games that look alright, but play like shite. I would take Thundering Chain if I could. I mean, by the rules of Death from Above, one would think that Thundering Chain would be okay, because it's basically just Thunder Line in front of you instead of right where you were. But I know that's not going to fly. So, what that's all boiling down to is that more often than not, you don't have to just make it. You don't have to find creative ways to make do with with the space that you have or anything like that. Nowadays, it's almost entirely about now. Sorry, hold on. I'm trying not to die in this room. There we go. But nowadays, it's mostly just about what can be considered a minimum viable product and how much can we charge for our shit. And things like creativity, vision, anything like that gets thrown to the wayside in order to run developers into the ground and get everything you can out of them before you toss them to the wayside. And yes, I know not every publisher and development studio works like that, but enough of them do that it's a disturbing trend that not only needs to be called out, but needs to have awareness called to it, so that we can put an end to that garbage philosophy of designing games. There's a reason why the games that are the most memorable to people tend to be older games. And it's not always the case. There are, of course, exceptions to that rule. But for the most part, that's one of the big reasons why I continue to generally support indie games in lieu of anything else. Because AAA, it does not produce anything. And again, there are exceptions to this. I understand that there is some hyperbole to the way I speak, but yeah, I didn't think I would kill them so quickly. Oh, you bastards. Alright, is there anything here I can pick up? Yes, Gaia's Shovel. I don't have any Earth-based attacks, but in case I find Seismic Entry, I want to have it. Pathfinding AI is not what I would call brilliant. As soon as you give them like a choice of roads to follow, they kind of stop and go, I don't know what to do. Like, it's okay, pathfinding AI, I forgive you. You're trying. So more than likely, before I leave this floor, I'm going to want to... That was stupid of me. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to do. Good job, game. There we go. So yeah, this floor could have gone better. There we go. Alright, that worked out well. I think the thing that's throwing me off is doing my jump attacks onto enemies with their stupid fire shields. That's the thing that's throwing me off the most right now. So let's make sure we're topped up. Alright. I cannot take Tears of Nidus, otherwise I probably would. There we go. So I have the ability to be both aggressive and defensive at the same time thanks to my build. So I should really be more careful with what I'm doing. Don't just jump into a group of enemies without a plan. There we go. I know it looks like I just demonstrated the exact thing I told myself not to do, but there was a plan in mind there. As you see, it worked out very, very well. No issue here. Okay, almost didn't see that coming, and, you know, of course it's the goddamn Lancer that threw me off, so you've got to go first. Make wise use of your jumps. Here we go. Spell Thief Socks can help with positioning, and I know that's one of the things I can take. To be fair, I can also take Rudra's Pinwheel, but that's going to be more about if I find Airborne Slam, which, yes, I will take it because I am an idiot. Although, in my own defense, I call it more so planning ahead, or just being prepared. There we go. Wow, Iris, you really do not want to give me anything that would help. And you can still help me out by upgrading Thunderline. You can help me out by upgrading Bouncing Blaze. You could be doing something right now that would be beneficial to my cause, but no. No, you want to be a dumb, lazy bitch. Okay, I don't care about what arcana you have in your vault to recycle. Especially since you paint them. You paint them. I've been to your store a few times in this run already. As many of you well know, I've had issues with Iris and what she chooses to sell me in the past. So, me complaining about this is nothing new. And even with the update that was made of... It was not recent. This was the update that was made a while ago. Anyway, I think the update came out shortly after Thundering Keep became a thing, but she now stocks two enhanced arcana instead of one, bringing the total up to 5, and I still can't get anything useful out of her. Like, I don't know if that's just me or and I'm just the unluckiest person in the world. I get the feeling that that's probably more the answer than anything else. Because I don't think that they actually designed the game to actively screw you over. I think I'm just really unlucky. But that's fine. I know my luck. I know what things generally look like for me, and yeah, this is about right. Now, one of you admirable souls out there is going to say something along the lines of, "No, because you've had good luck before, and it's, I get it. I understand what you're trying to say. I appreciate you trying to make me feel better about things, but no, I know what my luck looks like." That was an awful whiff, but I at least got her at the very edge of the attack, and that led to victory anyway, so haha! I cannot take that, so I will not. I fight with strength and with honor, but more importantly with giant balls of water that I drop onto people's heads before jump kicking them in the face. Or if we've had enough with facial damage before jump kicking them square in the torso. This doesn't sound as funny when you say it like that, but it is probably more. Okay, you guys can cut this out now. Okay, so my aim sucks, but so does his. So in this case, do 2 wrongs make a right? God, I hate these guys. And they get to fire faster than the other archers. They get to put you into hit stun faster. They get to freeze you. Oh my god! You were already dead! No, your arrow should just stop. You should just stop. Okay, the idea that absolutely every enemy can freeze is starting to really get on my nerves. Okay, we're just gonna have to spam purchase health potions to get through this level, I suppose. There. Yeah, this floor is going to be stressful, especially since apparently every room is just a battle room now. It's like, oh, you want to? Oh, you need a breather because you just got smashed. Oh, too bad. Come on. Alright, sorry about the silence. I'm just, this particular level stressing me out a little bit. Now again, I understand that it's a challenge. It's supposed to be that way. I can take Ifrit's Matchstick, that'll boost Bouncing Blaze. Is Ancient Fountain Pen allowed? It is, but it's not going to do much. Just at this point, I want to have something to work with. But what's really going to blow the doors wide open... Can I take the Golden Saber of Envy? I might take that if I can. No, I can't. Okay. I see things that are allowed, but they're not available here. I guess I should qualify. I should clarify. Reading over the list of what's allowed, I see cursed relics that are allowed, but they aren't at Nox's, emporium at that moment in time. So I have to unfortunately say, sorry, not today. I would take Bouncing Surge if I could. I can't, though. Smooth. So, coming over here? Here we go. Alright, so that is the end of the level. I am honestly surprised I haven't seen upgrades to either room. Like, am I mistaken? No, because of course she wouldn't give me anything that I could actually use to upgrade myself. No, I know that looks like a mistake because I didn't hit Grand Summoner with it, but trust me, that was a plan. I was trying to get rid of its minions. I cannot take Sidewinder's badge. The thing is, I'm not upset with the restrictions. The restrictions are part of what make a challenge fun. If you don't restrict yourself in any way, you're just playing regular runs. And that's fine in and of itself. I have no problem playing regular runs. What I have a problem with is that Iris doesn't seem to want to offer me any upgrades to what I already have. Now, another thing that I've noticed, just talking about pattern recognition, be an ongoing pattern when I take Bouncing Blaze. So, is it just a thing that she offers fewer Arcana upgrades if you're using Bouncing Blaze, or again, am I just the unluckiest guy in the world? And I'd like to know how much of this is design and how much of this is I am so unlucky that it's, crazy. Oh, she finally allows me to upgrade Bouncing Blaze. Christ, did I... What, did you run a credit check and understand that I'm actually good for the money or something? Another thing that I don't understand, why it's become so difficult to spend the money that we've already earned. I know bigger YouTubers like Jim Sterling have already talked about that, but it's something that I've been thinking about lately because it seems like nowadays we have to prove ourselves to be able to spend the money that we've earned. Now, for what it's worth, there's a lot of bad actors out there and people who are like, yeah, I'm good for it, don't worry, and then they never materialize any sort of payment. That part I get, but it's an attitude that's become so clearly evident, especially in things like Nintendo only selling Super Mario 3D All-Stars for 6 months. Or like how you have to do, or like what Sony is doing where you have to sign up for a waiting list for a PS5. It's like, you guys really think that these things are so in demand and necessary for our lives that we just can't live without them and we'll fall over ourselves begging for permission to, purchase your publicly available product? Come on, stop kidding yourselves. Now, for what it's worth, I do plan on picking up Super Mario 3D All-Stars because those are 3 games that I really like, and if nothing else, having them available to purchase on Switch hardware that I can just take with me wherever, I like that idea. the idea that those were games that I was looking forward to playing already. That, you know, pushes me in the direction of, okay, well, I don't like the hoops I have to jump through, but if the hoop I have to jump through is you're willing to make less money to, you know, to drive some sort of artificial scarcity home, well, I'll just go through the hoop that I have to do to not have to worry about the artificial scarcity. And make no mistake, that's exactly what it is. It's artificial. The value of the item is being driven up by a manufactured lack of supply, and that is to, and the whole point of that is to drive up the demand, so that later on they can find a way to increase the value of what it is they're selling. And it's either going to be in the way of charging more money for it, or like the usual like collector's edition bollocks. Like, it's ideas that I understand. It is not an idea that I agree with. Maybe instead of putting everything on a list of artificial scarcity, maybe what you should do is okay, game. That was odd. Okay, Taffy, get away from the portal. Yeah, I'm not sure. Because I'm encountering him in level 3, I don't know if I'm going to be able to... Yeah, I don't think I can do this right now. Oh well. Yeah, getting Taffy down in one stagger loop becomes harder the further into the trials you go without seeing him. I would love to take Merchant's Cart. I'm pretty sure I can't, though. Can I take Tapping Gloves? Again, I'm pretty sure I can't. Okay, so if I were just doing a regular run, I would take either I would probably take Merchant's Cart because of the idea of how this run works. This is very much an attack power-based run. There you go. I also find Binary Splat... Wow, second time for 3 Gorges Bulwark? Really, game? Okay, I don't really understand what you're getting at, but alright. I can't take it, so away I go. No, I did not forget to purchase a health potion. I figured I was getting healing right here, and there will be another health potion available after the Chaos Hall Gauntlet. Smart me. I don't blame the game for that. That was just me. That was just poor decision making on my behalf. Alright, that was awful. Alright, so that is what happens when you fall victim to hubris. Alright, game, kiss my ass. And by all rights, I should have held on to the signature for this room. Okay, the summoner's gotta go. You're taking up too much space, sir. There we go. Alright. So I don't have a lot of bouncing. Oh, sorry, I don't have a lot of crowd control. So basically just have to do what I can against the Null Flash agents. There we go. Alright, anything here I can pick up? Iris just does not want to be helpful. That's fine. And I think I can take the sturdy shoebox, can't I? Yes, I can. So it's funny as this is, I managed to not only find nothing to... not only managed to not find Airborne Slam or Seismic Entry, but it turns out that somehow or another I managed to get a ton of usable relics. But then nothing to use them with. So, very strange run in that regard. It's not over yet, I can still die to Sura. But if we're paying attention, we should be fine. Don't ask me what that was. For some reason my brain conjured this idea that I should do that. Dark Sage, is your brain broken? Very possibly. I don't deny that. There is the possibility that my brain just works on this weird level. Some people would call it being on the spectrum, but I've never had that tested. It's possible. Lame. Double lame. God damn it. Okay. Sorry, I was very much focused on trying to make it around, you know, his love of the Null Flash agent. Which, yes, sounds like something that not only do you not want to meet in the street, but also something that, you know, just has way too much free time on its hands to just go around and terrorize children. So, that's it. That is Death from Above. That challenge has been cleared, and I look forward to posting this not only for my own channel, but for people to enjoy on the Wizard of Legend Discord, so thank you very much for watching. I do regular videos of this game, so by all means, drop by, have a look, maybe hit me up on my own Discord. I do stuff like this pretty regularly, as I already said. My short-term memory is trash, so I apologize. But I do appreciate you coming here and spending time with me. I know free time is kind of hard to come across for us these days, so I definitely appreciate you coming and spending some of it with me, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I will be seeing you.